All right. So now we can begin the session. So
Okay.
today's session will be basically an introductory session where we will get to know each other a little bit. We can one by one introduce, and then we will take you through the introductory of Python. What is Python and what all applications are there for Python? In which area we can use Python? So that everything will go in details. And so let's get started. By the way, I tell a bit about myself for those who may not be knowing me. So I'm Rakesh Rosen, founder of TechTable, and also a student of IIT Madras. I'm currently in my final year. And anything else you want to know? Yeah. So I actually am from aerospace engineering background. So you can think that I am from aerospace engineering background. So why I'm doing all these things? So basically, I saw that there is some gap between students' thought process, that they are from different, they are from CSE background, so they cannot learn coding. But in fact, when they are actually sitting for placement or internship, this is what is becoming a big hurdle for them. So I thought, okay, not just for from the job perspective, but also this is a huge need. Like in every field, in every application, you will get the need of coding. So why not to just start giving tutor? Why not to start giving a mentor to all students, right? Not just for the CSE student. So this is where we started this. So let's keep on going. All right,
That's
Sambhavi. So now
nice.
it is all yours. You can proceed.
Okay. So, good evening, guys, and wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. So, basically, I'm Shambhavi Gupta, and I would be taking your Python classes for the coming 2 weeks, and I'm your mentor for Python. So, let's have an introduction session with all of us, and let's interact that and let's know each other. So, who is the first one to interact with me? Okay, so any one of you can take the initiative. I would appreciate that. Okay, so we have a raise hand
Yeah,
from.
you can unmute. Yeah, you can unmute or raise your
Yeah,
hand,
sure.
and then we can proceed.
Any one of you.
Yeah, good evening to everyone. Good evening to everyone. This is Dakshayani. I'm finally a student of Electrical and Electronics Engineer in Mysore. Actually, during placements I got to know about that Python and the coding stuffs are very important. So I learned C and C++. So I need to learn Python basics. So I joined the classes.
That's great. Good to have you here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And I've been seeing you, and you're a very great. Actually, I learned Python things that you have, but it's in Hindi. So,
Oh,
uh, so I hope it will be good for me because you will be doing in English. So
yeah,
I thought it will be very useful for me. So
sure, sure.
let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, and thanks for giving opportunity to introduce myself.
Oh, that's thank you so much. Thank you. Now, who's the next one?
Hello everyone, I am Mr. Aman Kumar. I am pursuing my BTech from Assam University and I am currently working as a social media manager at TechTable. So that's fine. That's me.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Hello everyone. First of all, happy Christmas to all. This is Abhishek Pathak. Recently, I am pursuing my CSC BTech degree from Assam University, Silchar. Thanks.
That's nice, Abhishek.
Thank you once
Hello,
again, ma'am.
hello everybody. I am Tanish Jain from Rajasthan, but I am studying in my first year in Assam University in Electronic and Communication Engineering. Ma'am, this is the first time I am learning any language in computer. I have no idea about it, so I am hoping that you who guidance me as I don't know anything.
Sure, Danish, sure. I will do whatever I can for you.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
Next, we have. Yeah.
Hello.
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 Yeah,
Good
yeah,
evening, all. Yeah, good evening, all.
yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Srinivas from Hyderabad. I'm having software experience and I'm working in testing background. I want to know the coding, so want to learn the Python programming.
Okay,
I saw
that's
your YouTube channels and I'm in LinkedIn connection also. I have some.
yeah, yeah. I
So,
remember. I remember.
yeah, I want to learn the Python, so I joined. Thank
That's
you.
very nice.
We are really glad to have you here, sir. Actually,
Yeah, thank you.
we are
Thank you.
really happy to have a platform like this where even working professionals are going ahead and they are ready to learn anything they want.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's very useful for us that we are learning with professionals and they will also share their experience and how they think their thoughts. We will learn a lot of things here. So
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
sure. Who is the next? Next,
Good evening, everyone.
Abhishek done. Hi, good evening.
Hi, I am Apur of class 12.
Okay,
Okay,
go on.
great.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good experience being with the people connected to IITM. So yeah, it would also be a great help for
Yeah,
me
sure.
further in college. I'm planning of taking up CSE.
Okay, that's very nice, Apu, that you are a 12th student
Definitely it will
and
be.
you are here. That's very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Next. Come,
Okay, so
guys,
who
make it
is going
fast.
next?
Or guys and girls. I have to call the name.
hello sir, I want to mention here that here is
Yeah,
my sister Supriya Bharti from NIT Srinagar. He has also joined us for learning Python.
is she here?
Mm, yeah,
Just check it once.
okay.
I
She
think
has,
she got
perhaps
disconnected.
perhaps she has left with, due to some
All
technical
right,
issue.
fine. Just let's check others.
Then here is Asik Das. He's my classmate. Asik Das.
Hi, yes, yes.
Yeah, Asik,
Hello,
introduce you.
hello everyone. Hi, yes. Hello everyone, guys. I am from West Bengal, and I pursued my BTech degree from Assam University. And I don't know, actually I don't know anything about those languages of computer. So I am very curious about
That is completely
this.
fine, Asik. That is completely fine. As you heard in the introduction, that there are many people like this, those who have no idea,
Yes, sir.
completely
Okay.
new. So it's completely okay. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Chalo,
Here,
okay.
if Sita is also with us, she is also our classmate. Ipsita Konwa. Hello, Ipsita.
Hello everyone. Myself Ipchita, and I am a first year student and pursuing BTech Computer Science from Assam University. Yeah, seriously, I don't know about coding and all. Something new.
Yes, Rishi, do you want to say something? Rishi.
Yes or no? I accidentally raised my hand.
Okay, okay.
Hello, I'm Karan Bhanushali. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
audible.
Hi,
Yeah, I'm
Karan.
Karan. Hi. I'm Karan Bhanushali. So I graduated from IIT Madras this year. So I'm actually a senior of Rakesh. Currently, I'm co-founding my startup,
Hi,
but
senior.
I never learned Python or coding. So I thought I'll just start that curve as well because it would benefit me a lot
You're
in
most
my journey.
welcome. You're most welcome, Karan. Thanks for
Thank you,
joining us
Rakesh.
here, actually. Okay.
We
And
are
else
having
left?
one more classmate, Trishna Devi and Shreyasi Datta. Trishna and
Yeah,
Shreyasi.
just call them quickly.
Hello everyone, good evening. First of all, wishing you all Merry Christmas. I'm a student at
Yes,
Assam
Merry
University
Christmas to you.
yes, sir, pursuing my BTech degree, and I'm just a beginner in this field, and I'm very curious. I got to know about this from my classmates, and one of my friends inspired me to learn this, and through Aman, I got to know about this course, and I got to got to know about this, and I joined, and I'm very curious to learn this. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot to tell.
And Merry
Actually,
Christmas to all once again.
Merry Christmas to everyone. I forgot to introduce.
Karan.
My cousins have also joined. Om, Bhanushali, Riya, and Rishi. And also my little nephew has joined, who is very enthusiastic to learn coding. Manas is his name. So these all have also joined the workshop.
Oh, great, great, great. Really super to see all these excited kids.
Yeah.
So Sambhavi,
Okay,
if
guys, so
no more
with this,
students are there,
yeah.
that is what I was saying. So if no, okay.
So should we proceed?
Abhishek, you were saying something.
Yeah, so
Yes, sir. I was asking, sir. I have no any idea of any type of coding language. Any issue, sir?
No,
No
not
worry, no worry, no
Abhishek.
worry. As you see, okay, relax.
most
Just
of the
asking,
students,
sir. Just
yeah,
asking.
most of the
Relax.
students here are just beginners. Means they don't know anything about coding or any programming languages. So don't worry, we are also same like you.
Yeah. This is my first semester, sir. Matlab,
Hello.
Yeah, Sambhavi, you can proceed.
Yes,
Yes, Trishna, you want to say something?
yes, ma'am. My friend Janice also joined, so I want to call him to introduce himself.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, please go on. Okay, so should I start?
Yeah.
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it's good to go.
okay. So, firstly, what we are going to say here is that what is the process of programming, like how we should learn programming. It is based upon any of the languages. You can refer this for C, C++, any language. So, firstly, we are going to check that how to learn a programming language, and then we are going to see that what are the different fields in which we can use Python. We are using Python. We want to go in that fields, and then we will refer to some of the buzzwords which are trending nowadays. So let's start for that. Let me share my screen first.
Perhaps Resi want to say something.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Resi, raise his hands. Oh,
Sorry, I mistakenly did it.
okay.
Okay, so is my window visible to you all?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here we have the process of
Yes, ma'am.
programming that which we are going to follow today. Understood? Now let's take the first point, that is define and model the problem. Now we all get a problem like you have to write a program to add two numbers. You remember the addition thing? We have a addition problem. Now how you are going to proceed? What are the things you are going to use in that? That is known as define and model the problem. Without before solving a problem, you should exactly read that problem, that what does it really means. You should understand the thing, that what it is asking, is there anything that you need to do in that, and after that what are the mathematics which you need to use in that. Like take an example that you need to add two numbers. So for addition of,
Shambhavi, 1 second. Are you showing any slide or something, or you are just opening? You have just opened this one.
okay, I'm opening the slide. Is the slide visible?
Oh, okay.
The slide is
No,
not
no.
visible. You haven't
You can
presented
switch
the
to
thing.
that tab. Yeah, maybe you can just switch to that tab. Maybe.
Okay, just a second.
Sure. That is what I
Just
thought.
just a second.
Yeah, you present the entire screen, then it will come.
Okay. Okay, so now is it there?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, definitely. Yes,
It's-
yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No visible. It's not visible, ma'am.
The one who are not able to see, please refresh the page.
No, it is. Yes, it is visible. तुम कौन में क्या करो? What you do?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Ma'am.
Okay. So this is how we define and model a problem. Let's take an example. Okay, just a second. Let's take an example that we need to write a program for the addition. Let me change the color 1 second. We need to take an example for addition of two numbers. Like we need to write a program in which we need to add two numbers. So firstly, we need to understand the statement, that what is the statement, it is asking for us to do what operations, and what are the things which we are going to need in this. So basically this is the defining and modeling the problem. Understood this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If there are any doubts, you can stop me in between and ask me that doubt. Okay. Now, second is that you need to obtain a logical solution to your problem, which is also called as algorithm. So basically, if any one of you have heard about the algorithm in your earlier classes, we used to write algorithm. So now what is an algorithm? Take an example that you need to make a tea. Everyone knows here how to make a tea. For making a tea, you need to take a container. In that, you need to put water. After that, put sugar, then some tea leaves, then add some milk in that, and then boil it. So these are the steps for making a tea. So this is basically what is called as algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step logical solution to a problem. Now let us take, we were taking the example for for writing a two-number program. So for that, our step one should be that we should start the program. Step two would be that we need to take two numbers. Without taking two numbers, there would not be anything in our program. We had taken two numbers, then the third step came is that we need to take the addition of that two numbers. Clear? And now after that, taking the addition, we need to print the final sum, that is our addition. So basically the thing which we are writing roughly here, which is step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4, that is known as algorithm. Clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can I have some examples for algorithm with you all? Okay, now give me some examples that where can we use algorithm. I have given you two examples. One was for addition and second was one for making a tea. You can give me any real life example, any mathematical example, anything. Come on guys, interact with me.
Subtraction, division, etc.
Yeah, that's right, Abhishek. That's right. Subtraction, division. Now take a real life example that you want to make Maggie. All of you know how to make Maggie. So these are the things where we can add these algorithms, so it is not like only that you are going to write only mathematical thing. You need to learn all the things interacting with the real life examples. Okay, so next we have our third thing that is known as can visualize using flowchart. So flowchart is the another tool which comes here in the point. Now, what is a flowchart? You have heard that, you have seen some things like this. If you have studied in your earlier classes, you have made a circle. Then after that, we need a parallelogram. Then we made a rectangle. After that, what we did, we made a decision box. There were two conditions for true and false. So basically, this is a flowchart. Now, flowchart is a drawing in which we make many of the shapes, and inside that shapes we write our algorithm. Understood the thing? That flowchart, it is understood from the name only, that flow of a chart. This is known as flowchart. So till now, we have done three steps: define and model the problem. We need to check that what our question is asking from us, what are we supposed to do in that question. Now, then, second comes, we need to write a rough thing, that algorithm, that what are we going to do in that. And now, third comes our flowchart. We are going to make a pictorial representation of the things which are here, which we have written in our algorithm. We are going to make a pictorial representation for that. Now, fourth comes, just a second, let me close this. Now, fourth comes convert algorithm into working code. Now, how to convert that algo into a working code? We have written a rough step there, that step one is to start, then we need to take two variables, the a and b. After that, we added them, and after that, we printed the sum for that. Now, here comes that we need to write the algo into a working code. Now, writing an algorithm in a working code needs the syntax of the language which we are going to use. So, in the starting, the steps 3 which I told, these were applicable to every of the languages. You can use these steps in any of the language. And now here comes the role of Python or C or C++. Today we are going to learn Python here. So now, what is the thing that you need to learn? The syntax, the semantics which are involved in Python for making our code run from an algorithm to a proper code. So the last step is that syntax and semantics of a language. You need to understand all the syntax and all the types of errors which you can face in the program, all these things clearly. And now here comes, we are proceeding towards the process of programming. We have completed this topic, and this was whole thing that I wanted to tell you before starting into Python. Now, are there any doubts, any questions regarding this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, it's clear.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, now what we are going to see is that what are the different fields in which you can use Python. You are going to learn a language. And before learning a language, you should be knowing that why you are learning this language, why is this language more better than other languages, and why you should prefer this language only. So we are going to see these all things. Let me open my OneNote. Okay. So first thing which comes after learning a Python as a career side is Python developer. Now, what is a Python developer? So basically, Python developer is the one who builds websites, optimize data algorithms, solve data analytics problems. So for some of you, this must be might be a very tough thing to remember. But remember one thing, that after learning Python, you can move on to a field which is known as Python developer. As you know, web developer, is that clear? So you can move to a Python developer. After that, we are going to discuss the different buzzwords which are trending nowadays. So the first one, I hope you all have listened the name, that is artificial intelligence. You have heard the name or not? Tell me.
Yeah.
I have heard.
Yeah.
You have heard.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah, ma'am, I have.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to explain you about AI, deep
Yes, ma'am.
learning, machine learning, and data science using a circle. So basically what I have made here is a set. Okay, now let's, inside this circle, let's write artificial intelligence. Okay, after that, let's make another circle. And what is this circle known as? Can anyone of you tell me?
Ma'am,
Machine learning.
machine learning.
Okay, so basically this one is known as the deep learning. Deep learning, you remember that neural network things and all that. Now, next what comes is our machine learning. Here is our, just a second, machine learning. And now where is the role of the data science come? So basically what is data science? It is a collection of all these things, and here we can write data science as well, DS. Now, can we have the definitions for AI, deep learning, machine learning and data science? Anyone of you? Anyone of you have any knowledge about these, that what are these and what are the things we need to refer for this? Okay, so let me tell you that what is AI, artificial intelligence. It is the thing that enables the machine to think. Now, for learning AI, you need to, the very basic thing that you need to do is learn Python. Python is the base language for learning artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and data science. Clear to you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Python is the base language which you need to learn for all of these things. Okay, just a second. Anyone of you was saying that it was ML, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you were correct. Thank you so much for that. I don't remember your name. Your name, please?
It's
He was
Dakshina.
R6, perhaps.
Okay. Dakshin and Asik, thank you very much. It was machine learning only and it is deep learning. So we have learned the definition for AI, that is something that enables the machine to think. Clear on that. Now, what is machine learning? Machine learning is something which is known as statistical tools to explore and analyze the data. Now, listen. Some of you must be wondering that what is this? I'm here to learn Python, and what is this AI, ML, DL, DS? I am telling you that what are the career paths you can choose after learning Python. So, if anyone comes and asks to you that you are choosing which field after Python, you are saying that okay, I will choose machine learning. Now, tell me what's the definition for machine learning, and you are blank there. So you must be knowing that at least a definition for a single thing that you are going to learn in the future if you want. If you want to go for machine learning, you must be familiar with the definition. And if you have heard that definition anywhere, you must be able to recall and tell that person, okay, so machine learning is statistical tools to explore and analyze the data. After that, there comes a deep learning, and you all know that it is a neural networks thing. And then data science, it is a study of you can say storing, cleaning, exploratory data analysis, and all these things contribute in data science. So basically for data science, you need to learn Python. For machine learning, you need to learn Python. For artificial intelligence, you need to learn Python. And for deep learning, you need to learn Python. So that is why we are learning Python here, because it is the most and the basic thing which we all refer before learning any buzzwords or anything which is trending nowadays. Now, next you can go for data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, data analyst, and yeah, these are the buzzwords which are trending. After that, for Python, you can be an educator. Why not? Because you have learned Python, you have a good knowledge of Python, you can be an educator for that. Now, what is the web development and frameworks? You can even go for web development. Can anyone of you tell me that nowadays, what is the field in which Python is not used? Python is used anywhere. You can go for software development. You can go as software engineer, web development, game development, app development, anything you can go for as Python developer. Okay, now the main question which must be arising in your minds is that I can go all of these things. I can go for web development. I can go for app development. I can go for software development using Java also. Yeah. Is this question with anyone of you? Can I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
yes or no? Okay. 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 So why we are going to learn Python for all of this? Because the first thing that comes here is that in Python we have less code which takes less time. Now less code. How does this means less code? Okay, let me give you an example. The ones who know programming language and the ones who don't know programming language. Let me tell you that there is a programming language known as C language. So in C language, if you for a programming language, there is a very simple code, and which is the first code which everyone writes in his language or her language, in programming language, that is for hello world. The ones who have read the programming language, they must be knowing, and the ones who don't have the programming language background, I'm telling you that whenever you are going to learn a Python, any programming language, the first thing that you all need to learn is that how to write a hello world program. Now if we take this hello world program and if we write this hello world program using a C language, so for a C language we need to import some libraries, not libraries, we need to write some header files, that is hash include stdio.h. Then we need to declare a main function here, int main, and after that going inside that main function, here we write print f, and in bracket we write hello world, hello, and after that we need to close. So take this, there are 4 lines including brackets, there are total 5 lines of code for writing in a C programming, a simple program that is for the hello world. Now let's move this to the Python programming. And for Python, if you need to write a first program, a very simple program that is hello world, you need to write only and only print hello. So basically, did you saw the line difference and the difference which we are here between C and Python? We can compare Python with C++ also. We can compare it with Java also. Any of the languages we can compare with. In Python, you are going to write a code which is a single line code, and that same code, if you refer in any other language, it would exceed 2, 3, 4 lines. So that is why the Python is used nowadays very much in these fields, because it helps to write very less code, and if we write less code, it will take less time. And some of you must have heard the name of time complexity. Here's a thing which is known as time complexity. So basically, what is time complexity? So time complexity means it is a time what a program takes to run. You can understand it in a very simple language. It is a time that a program takes to run. Now these things are very much reduced in Python, because we are here in Python, we can write a very small code. So have you seen that in C we were writing this single code of 5 lines, and in Python we are writing this simple code in one single line. So that is why the Python is preferred more and more and more nowadays, because it helps to write very less code. Now the second thing is that it has a very simplified syntax. So did you saw that in that C1? Let me take a little bit up. In this C1, we were writing some header files, and after that I was writing the main function, then I was writing printf. In Python, I need not to write any header file here. I need not to write any main function here. Simply I wrote print hello. So basically the syntax for this is very simple, and in C also we use a semicolon outside, but it's nothing like that in Python. Very easy syntax, very simple syntax. Clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubts
Yes, ma'am.
now?
Clear, ma'am.
Any
It's
doubt?
clear, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So we have covered 2 points, that is less code and simplified syntax. So if a language has less codes and if a language is very easy to learn, I mean it is very its syntax are very easy, so we can automatically say that Python is very easy to learn. If a programming language takes a very less code and has a very simplified syntax, so it automatically is a very easy and a very simple language to learn, isn't that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what I have discussed is that it has simplified syntax. Now, if a language has simplified syntax, that means it is very easy to write also. Like in C, we need to write this header files, declare, and in C, it is like that if you want to use any string, any characters, for that there is another header file which you need to include, but it is nothing like that in Python. So it automatically says that it is very easy to write. And the next thing which comes here is that Python has many of libraries and frameworks which are very easy to use and which we will see in our further Python programs and our projects which we are going to make. So it has libraries which makes the work very easy to do. So these were the things that why we refer Python, why we take Python, why we learn Python, and why is it easy to learn Python. So I hope I made all the things clear to you, that why are we going to study Python, what are the fields in which you can take Python, you can use Python, and after that what are the career opportunities with Python. So any doubts till now you can ask me.
Hello,
Hello,
your
ma'am.
voice was cracking at the time you were discussing syntax, so I didn't understand that.
Okay, so
Can you
syntax
repeat
for
that?
C and C++. No, C and Python, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. So I was discussing about the syntax that in C, we need to write a 5 lines of code in to write a very simple program that is hello world. So what we need to do is we need to declare a header file in C. After that, we need to write a main function. This is int main. We need to include some brackets, and after that, we need to write printf, and then hello world. After that, semicolon. But it's not like that in Python. We need not to include any header file here. We need not to include any main function here. What we need to do is simply write print and whatever statement you want to print. So that is why I was saying that the syntax of Python is very easy to learn. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, it was clear.
Okay. That's nice. Okay, so now let me introduce you to the IDEs which we are going to use so that you all can download that. Okay, so let me tell you, I am giving you some options for using the IDE. That's on your totally choice. Firstly, you can use Sublime Text Editor. If you want, you can note that down. Sublime Text Editor. Second is you can use Google Colab. And third is you can use PyCharm IDs. I'm telling you that from where to
Second
download
one.
and how to download.
Ma'am,
Second one, ma'am.
Yeah. Second is Google Colab.
ma'am, can you write in chat box?
Okay, just a second, I'm writing. Google Colab, PyCharm, and the last was Sublime Text Editor. So you all can note them down and then I will tell you how to download all the things. So should I begin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So for the Google Colab, you can just search on Google for Google Colab and you will find a file, this thing, the first link. You can click on that Google Colab and here a box will appear. So basically this is a Google Colab. Now let me tell you a little that what is it. So here it is written that collaboratory or collab for short allows you to write and execute Python in your browser. So let me tell you, it is a type of a Google Cloud. So whatever the things you are going to do here, they are going to automatically be saved in your Google Drives. With the mail which you are accessing, it is going to be saved in your Google Drive. So firstly, the thing is that it is very much safe. So it only works with your mail. Now, for opening a notebook, what you need to do here is that click on File and then here New Notebook. Now, let me tell you how to use it also, because from tomorrow we are going to do the practicals and we are going to see a lot of things from tomorrow. Okay, so it is taking some time. Okay, so this is a collaboratory notebook in which you can work. If you want, you can we connect it from here from our server and then it starts working. Now if you want to save and rename, if you want to rename this file, here you click and you can rename it also. Like I'm renaming it as Python 1, so it is fine. After that, this is the whole collaborative notebook which you can use here. And what is the main and the best part for this, that you can click on the share here, and with this you can share the collaborative notebook link with anyone, even with me, and whatever the doubts or whatever the errors are there, I can solve them with you. You can do what here, that is change to anyone with the link. You can click it on here, and after that you can copy the link and share it with any of one. So it is like you can code in this and you can share the links with me so that I can rectify your errors and all the things. So this one first was the Google Collaboratory. Now second is the Sublime Text Editor. Now it is a type of editor which is mostly used to make the project. Actually, it is a text editor. This and the PyCharm, these both are the text editors which you need to download on your laptops or computers, whatever you are using, with the Python latest version. So basically, this is a Sublime Text Editor. So from here, you can download it. Whenever you will write it Sublime Text Editor, you will get a link to download it and you can download. For Python downloading, you should use Python download. So whatever your windows are 10 or 7, so basically this is the 10 one. So I am using the link for the 10, and here you get a link and a website for www.python.org. So here you click and you can download the Python version, whatever is your Python version. It's upon you that whatever you want to download. Now the presently the latest version is Python 3.9.1, and even you can download the earlier versions too. That is totally upon you. So for using the Sublime Text and the PyCharm, you need to download the Python as well. Is that clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
I hope you all, yeah.
Ma'am, does it need means MB? So when we are working on it, working on the PyCharm and Sublime Text Editor?
No, actually you are not audible. Please,
Yeah,
can you
ma'am.
repeat once more?
Yeah, does it need internet connection when we are working? When we are working, for I know for downloading we need it, and after downloading the installing, does it need?
Okay, so Google Collaboratory needs the internet, and
Yeah, for
PyCharm and
that.
Sublime Text do not use.
Okay,
They don't need.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, okay, you're most welcome. Any other doubt, or should I proceed? Okay, so next we were seeing the PyCharm, how to download PyCharm. So for that, you need to write Py. Let me spell it PYCHARM. And you need to click on any of these PyCharm download, and after that you will get a link for the JetBrains. So basically it is an IDE which is provided by JetBrains. So it is www.jetbrains.com. You can directly go into that site and search. Now, okay. So here there are two types of things: download for professional and for community. So basically the professional one is for the paid one. So we don't need that thing. So you will download for this community. So from community, you will click here download, and this one is free and open source. So by the time you all must download all these things, whichever you wanted to use. And what I would suggest is that you should try your hands on to every of these things. Like you can do some projects on Google Colab. Actually, what is Google Colab? It doesn't take libraries. It doesn't like, if you are going to do that text to speech editor thing, so it will show the errors because Google Colab does not support these libraries. So there it will create a mess up. So what I suggest is that if you want, you can do your Python programming on Google Colab. And for making the projects, you can download any of the PyCharm or Sublime Text Editor. It's on your choice. Okay, so it's that clear to you all?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yes, ma'am.
It's all right, ma'am. It's all right.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, okay. So by the time tomorrow, till tomorrow, you need to download any of these IDEs, and we are going to do the sessions. So, any questions regarding the today's session? Anaconda is also fine. Yeah, that's totally fine, sir. That's totally fine. I just forgot that. Any questions? Any doubts regarding Python?
No, ma'am, it was clear.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you a little more about Python. Just a second, let me open the slides. So this slide, okay, just give me a second. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so let's
Yes.
discuss these theoretical things today, and from tomorrow we'll directly jump onto the programming. So, who is the father of Python? So, father of Python is Guido van Rossum. I spell it once again, Guido van Rossum, and he was born on 31st of January 1956, and is a Dutch programmer best known as the creator of the Python programming language, for which he was the BFDL until he stepped down from the position in July 2018. So it's necessary to know that who invented Python and when it was. So the father of Python is Guido van Rossum. You all can note it down or take a screenshots, whatever you wish. Okay, so next we have, when was Python invented? So Python was invented in the late 1980s. Then it was available to all of us in 1991. After that, Python 2.0 was released in 2000, and till now, which we have seen today, that Python 3.9.1 is available for us to download. Next, I have told you some features of Python, and here are some written features which we will discuss in detail tomorrow. But let me tell you some of these, that it is simple and easy to learn, and I have proved you all that yes, it is simple and it is very easy to learn because of the syntax, because of the precise code, because of not too much of syntax problems here. It is very simple and easy to learn. We have already compared a single program for Hello World between C language and between Python, and what we found there was that C is a little more lengthier and Python is not that much of lengthier. Now, what makes the Python different? That like that there are many of the libraries which help Python to do many big things in a very small way. We will see all these things in the upcoming sessions. So it is a platform independent language. It is a case sensitive language. Now, case sensitive language, that means that if you even miss a single semicolon or any single semicode, it would show an error. So this is the thing, that it is a case sensitive language. After that, what I have shown you about that PyCharm, that it is free and open source. So the things which we in which we work on Python, the IDEs that are free and open source. And when you go and Google for Python, there are lots of stuff, lots of things, lots of practice books. So basically it means that it is free and Python source. So have any one of you visited the website of python.org? Have any one of you seen that website?
No.
No, ma'am.
Let me show you that. So basically this is the website for Python, and here, just a second, and here all the things are shown very simply, very easily. Okay, so Mr. Manas, please close your mic. Thank you so much. So basically, this is the Python website from where we download, and like it is a free and open source, as I have already shown you that Python is free and open source.
Your
So
voice is
this
cracking.
okay, so is my voice cracking?
Now it's clear, ma'am. Now it's clear, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Sorry for the disturbance. So as I have shown you that python.org, I had shown how to download the Python. So basically it is free and open source. You can download it on your Windows, on your Macs, on your Linux, anywhere, and you can use that. So this was the thing which I wanted to tell you about the some features, some basic features of Python, that it is free and open source. We write concise code here. It is platform independent, simple and easy to learn. And all these are the things which I wanted to tell you as an introductory for this Python. So any doubts regarding this?
Ma'am?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am. It's
okay.
clear, ma'am.
Okay, so now
Ma'am,
we
may
can
I
have
know
your
what's the open source is?
open sources are the things which are available on Google, which you need not to pay anything for that.
Okay, ma'am.
Anyone can access that things.
Ma'am, is
Okay.
C or C++ is not worthy on coming of Python?
Can you please repeat your
Ma'am,
question, Mr.
Python.
Abhishek?
Is C or C++ is not worthy on coming of Python, or means on foundation of Python, I think.
Okay, so if you already know C and C++, it would be very easy for you to learn Python. Listen to one thing, that the concepts, the mathematics, all these things are same in all of the languages, all of the programming languages. But the thing which that differs here is that you need to learn the syntax for each and every of the languages. You need to check that what's the thing different in C, C++, and what's the thing different in Python. So is your question answered or not, Mr. Abhishek?
Ma'am, I was asking just for C or C++ is worthy or not, as Python
No,
is
see,
already
Abhishek.
discovered.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Uh, Sambhavi, what he's asking
Yeah.
is like, if Python is already here, that is such an easy language. So
Yeah.
why do we learn C and C++?
Okay. So we learn C and C++.
That is his question.
Nice question. So basically, the thing which is there is that Python was developed late. As I told you that it was developed in 19 and it was come on board in 1991, and it is improving day by day and day by day. Before some time in our schools and in the colleges also, we were only taught C, C++, and Java. The Python was nowhere there, because you can say that it came late into existence, or you can
Ma'am,
say this thing.
I was asking that means C or C++ is not beneficial nowadays.
Okay, so this is your
No, that is
question.
beneficial, Abhishek. that is also beneficial. Don't worry, okay? So if you have learned,
No.
Yeah.
if you already C++ or C, that will be useful.
No,
Don't
no, I
worry.
am not learned. I am not learned.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
listen,
Thank you, sir.
Abhishek, listen.
Okay.
Okay, listen to me. If you already know C, C++, it would be very much easier for you to learn Python. The only thing which you need to learn for Python is the syntax, and this is the thing. And if you don't know C and C++, you can then also learn Python. So there is no harm in learning C and C++. But nowadays also, what is there is that C is treated as the base for all of the languages, and that is the main thing, that why we all are taught C in our first semester of BTech, and then C++ in our second semester of BTech, and after that we move on to the other languages. So this is the main thing. If you don't know C++ or C, that's not the issue. If you know this thing, that's not the issue. It's totally fine. Now you are satisfied with the answer?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello,
Now
ma'am.
May
you're
I add
Good.
some more points upon
Ma'am.
that?
yeah, sure, Dakshini.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
And C programming can also be used in operating system. That's
Uh,
it, ma'am.
okay. Now next, who was there?
Ma'am, can you tell me something about
Yes, ma'am.
IDE?
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you tell me something about IDE?
Okay, so basically, what is IDE? IDE is a platform. You can say it as something where you can code. Like you can say it as an environment. You can take it as a development environment, in which the full form is IDE is integrated development environment. It is a thing in which you write some code, execute that, and so it is IDE. You
As
can,
like command prompt.
yeah, that's an IDE command prompt. It's already in your computers or laptops. It's already inbuilt. And one more thing is there, that is PowerShell. In Windows 10, there is one more thing known as PowerShell that is also used for the execution of the programs. But what is there in command prompt and PowerShell, that you can't make any programs there. And there you can install the libraries, that there is some syntax to install, that is pip install any library name. So you can do that, you can run a simple code, but it's not that you can make a program, you can make a project there. So that's why we prefer always IDEs to use. And yeah, this is the thing.
Okay, ma'am, I understand.
Okay, next.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
am I audible, ma'am?
yeah, you are audible.
Ma'am, when it comes for project, which language do you prefer, ma'am?
Okay, so no, basically it's on your choice, that what language you want to make that project. If you know C, you can refer C. If you know C++, you can refer C++. If you know Python, you can refer. But what I prefer is always Python, because as I have already told, that Python is very simple and easy to use. And the main thing in Python is that it has some inbuilt libraries which are already there in the Python. So that's why I prefer Python.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I was disconnected. Now, am I
Hello,
audible?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just
Hello.
a second, just a second. There was someone, Keitha, your question was answered or not?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was
It was
audible or
clear,
not at
ma'am.
your answer?
It was
Okay.
audible,
Now
ma'am.
next, yes. Okay. Yes, Rishi.
Yes, ma'am. What is a library?
What is
Library. Earlier you
Okay.
talked about it.
Okay. So basically, library is the thing which already has a lot of codes written in that. And like, let me give you an example, that if you use a library known as Wikipedia. So simply, in if you import Wikipedia, you write import Wikipedia in your program. So it will import all the backward written code which is already written in that library. Already, it is all the things are stored in that library. It would import that. And after that, if you need to if you write a little bit of more code, and if you search anything from Wikipedia, it will give you total thing, that if you want Salman, if you search Salman Khan for Wikipedia, it will give you a whole history of Salman Khan. So basically, this is the thing of library. It has already some codes behind it, and it works like this. We will see all these things detailed in the project which we will make. I will tell you each and every single thing.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Ma'am, what is the basic difference between Sublime Text Editor and Google Color? Or like
Okay.
the disadvantages, advantages?
Okay. So basically, what is the first one is that Sublime Text Editor. You need not to have an internet connection to use Sublime Text Editor, but for the Google Colab, you need to have a internet connection. Secondly, in Google Colab, the projects are, you can say it shows a lots of error on Google Colab because it does not take all the libraries in that. But in Sublime Text Editor, it takes all the libraries and you can use that. And what is the advantage of Google Colab over a Sublime Text Editor is that Google Colab, all the things which you do with all the codes which you write, they never get disappear. Why? Because it is automated by your Gmail IDs which you have. So basically, all the thing which you write in Google Colab, it automatically gets saved in your Google Drives, and you can access them from there. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Do C or C++ have advanced?
Yeah, C and C++ also have environments.
Any case, ma'am? In any
Okay, so the environment for C and C++ is dev C++. You can use dev C++ for that, and some online are also there like CPP shell or online GDB. These are the things. Hello.
Your voice is not clear.
Okay, just a second. Okay, now am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your question was that environments for C and C++, right?
No. Do C or C++ have advantage over Python?
Yeah, there are lots of
Any
advantages of
advantage?
C++ and C and C++ over Python. That, yeah, I have told a very basic one that in C the code is very much linear, which you need to write, and in Python it's not that much linear. In C, if you need to write a simple first code, you need to write your first program, that is Hello World. So for that you need to take 5 lines of code. And in Python, if you need to write your first program,
No.
that, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, that is over Python. I'm talking about C or C++. Do C or C++ have advantage?
Do C and C++ have advantage?
Over Python? Yeah.
Ma'am, do you know
In
Hindi?
any case?
Okay, so for that, I must say that
Yes. If you
nowadays
are not
Python.
comfortable, you can ask. ठीक है, सुनो. 1 second, sorry. If you are not
Yeah.
comfortable, then you can ask your dot in Hindi. That is completely okay.
Yeah,
अगर
sure,
तुम्हें हिंदी
you
में
can
पूछना है
ask.
तो तुम पूछ सकते हो. Don't be hesitant कि अगर ठीक है यार. You
And
should
even मैं
be
हिंदी में
able to
reply
put
भी कर
forward your
सकती
code.
हूँ.
ठीक है, पूछ लो. Don't worry. पूछने में शर्माना नहीं है, okay? And I think we can now recording. You can also ask your dots if you have.
No, sir. Just I have asked only.